Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We're 20 sides to every story, and tonight we are playing another chapter of our community campaign game where we are following the events of Princes of the Apocalypse, but we have converted it to fit into our Greyhawk campaign setting, which kicked off about man, was it like 2 years ago that we started it? It started with the Temple of Elemental Evil campaign. We were using the original Adventures Reincarnated book that Goodman Games had put out, and we've since exhausted all of that, and now we needed more stuff to do. So we decided to start playing around in Princes of the Apocalypse, which covers a lot of the same, some similar terrain. So we've fast forwarded our campaign 10 years, and we're kind of getting into, I would say we're very close to being at the final act of this adventure. So we got one more happening here tonight. This is your first time joining us here on 20 Sides to Every Story. We are a gaming community that stream a lot of our games here on Twitch, upload them later to YouTube. So if you want to watch any of the previous episodes that came before this, just check out our YouTube channel. The link to that is in the chat. But we'd also, probably more important than you watching our games, we would invite you to come and join us for a game. Best way to do that would be to jump into our Discord server, so the link to that is there in the chat as well. I think a lot of the folks here got their start in the community campaign, and I think we were just joking before I came on, except for maybe like one person. This is like pretty much the crew from last night's Dark Tower game. So that just kind of goes to show that get connected with our community campaign, and you might be able to find like a mainstay campaign that you can be a part of each and every week. So do a lot of recruiting for our longer form campaigns from the Discord server. So jump in there and check it out. I guess before I get started, maybe this is probably the best game to announce this, that we have now joined a stream team. So we are joining Lord Gasumba's Greyhawk's creatives, and we're really excited to be joining a group of streamers that are highlighting TTRPG content and D&D content. And even though the name is Greyhawk Creatives, it's not just Greyhawk content, but we felt we were a good fit for the crew, given that we are creating a lot of Greyhawk content through our community campaign game. So, and thank you out there. I think that was Gabe gifting some tier 1 subs to the group. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. We got our woos, and the emotes are flying all over the screen. We appreciate that. Love that. So as we get going here, yeah, feel free to enjoy the. I guess the big perk of subbing is what, ad-free viewing, but you also get some goofy emotes and stuff there too. So yeah, you got your Ric Flairs. You can do your woos now. Yeah, so anyway, we're really excited to be a part of the Greyhawk Creatives and be supporting the other folks there. I think we're going to be getting involved in maybe a couple of extra fundraising campaigns this year, partnering with them a bit. And the big thing is we'll probably be supporting some content over the weekend of the virtual Greyhawk convention, which is in early October, I believe. So yeah, really exciting stuff for us. So as far as games happening this weekend, if you have been following along with Dolmenwood, we had taken a little bit of a break from that, but we're going to be back again tomorrow morning. So if you're looking for something to wake up to, you can come see us at about 10 a.m. We start that here on the channel, and then I think that's it for the weekend. If you're into watching a Mind Flayer play video games, you can check out, there's another stream that's happening, I guess, on Sunday night, but I don't know if I'd watch that. But yeah, so here we go. We're gonna get things started here tonight. Maybe before I do any kind of like setup to the session, maybe I'm just gonna have you guys do character creations or character intros before we get started with all that. So why don't you each just kind of give us a little bit of an introduction to who you are, who you're bringing to the table, and just let us know kind of like maybe what's top of mind for them based on the adventures that they played most recently, and what kinds of things they're concerned about. So we'll just go right along the bottom of the overlay here. We'll start here with Chris playing Donovan.
Hello, good evening. My name's Chris. I'm playing Sir Votary Donovan Lockwood. He's a 9th level paladin of St. Cuthbert. Oath of the Watchers. Originally, he was here as one of the original heroes of Hamlet. Happenstance or divine intervention landed him back to get involved with this that's going on. He actually has been a part of kind of initial forays in the Earth Temple, Fire Temple, Water Temple, and Air. So with him being Oath of the Watchers, he's taken it upon himself to get a first-hand look at everything that's going on and making an assessment that basically what's going on is very bad, and ended up in the kind of a bad way at the Fire Temple last time, that they ended up having to have more of a circuitous means of getting back here, but they kind of went a little too far and a little too deep and couldn't really find an easy means of egress. So he, having gotten back into Raster, he's happy, but he is hell-bent on seeing this thing through and to the end and smashing as many of these cultists as he can.
Yeah, and maybe a bit of vindication upon returning to Hamlet, hearing that the crew that went down to try to save you actually sort of, maybe a little bit of serendipity, but they kind of stumbled upon an answer to clear out the entire Fire Temple is free of cultists at this point. So maybe some of that will come up here at some point. We'll move on over and check in with Dawson playing Yang.
Hey, I'm Dawson. I'm playing Yang. He is a level 6 human Way of the Open Hand monk. More of a mercenary at this point. He's young and I wouldn't say ambitious. It's more a means of getting by. I mean, these crazy adventurers keep sending them suicide missions all the time, but hey, they pay pretty well. But there might be a little something else he's looking to get out of all of this, and just we'll have to see what happens. He's got something.
He's got something. I don't know what that means, but I'm excited to learn more about what that might be. Let's move next over to Jeff playing Rareth.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jeff. I'm playing Rareth. Half orc, half elf ranger. He has been into several of the temples, but has recently been traveling around the area surveying the damage from the water bomb, and trying to find a way to maybe cleanse the area, get it back to being what it was before. And now he's ready to get back into the action. Hopefully he remembers how to shoot his bow, and he's glad to see Yang tonight.
Awesome. Let's move on next over to Bo playing Peanutty, who it's just incredible. I didn't realize that Peanutty had, not only is he level 8, but he's racked up 3 classes. It's very impressive.
Yeah, it's a good run so far, man. And he's starting to feel a sense of self-worth finally after all that. Now he's got a purpose in life that's driving him to accomplish great things and help people. And speaking of Rareth helping out with these the effects of that water bomb, he's been trying to help the farmers kind of get the crops going again, and prepare for the coming season so that people aren't left out there starving. All this cultist stuff is going on. He's got to constantly go out and battle that back. So
awesome. Sir Gareth, as a relative Twitch newbie. Need to read up on this whole EXP gambling thing. Yeah, so good time for me to maybe step in and explain all of that a bit. So basically, and it looks like Casey's got it a bit. As you're watching the stream, every 10 minutes you watch, you earn some number of EXP points. I think it's maybe 5 to 10. If you're a non-subscriber, if you're a subscriber, I think you get like 5 times that number. There's some kind of multiplier if you're a sub. When you cheer, when you sub, when you gift subs, all of that stuff earns you EXP. And what you can do with that is you can redeem that in the EXP store. So pop up in the chat right here. And basically you can throw things at the game to either help or harm, or in some cases maybe it's just to goof off a little bit. So you can redeem them rerolls, you can redeem the DM a reroll, you can redeem wandering monsters, you can buy them healing potions, you can buy them the very popular natural 20 on a death saving throw. That I don't know why, but that one comes up quite a bit. And then there's some silly things in there, like you can name any unnamed NPC or start a rumor or things like that. So just check out the EXP store. There's some fun stuff in there. And then, yeah, as you can see, the gambling is just if you like squandering all of the points that you earned, go ahead and gamble. That's how that works. So, all right, and then we will move over here to Percy, who's playing Brelnera.
Hi, I'm Percy. I'm playing Balnera Bottle de Granite. She was one of the members that was sent down as part of the rescue party. We were unable to find the group that we were looking for, but we did manage to use some creative methods to clear out the fire cult. So now that is done, we have to move on to the other cults. Also extremely happy to see some familiar faces. Peanutty, who she's adventured with at lower levels. And I think that's it. I don't think I ever ran with Yang. That's it for me.
All right. So that's the crew for tonight, and basically, as we get started here, obviously the missing group from the Fire Temple has returned back to Rastor at this point. And the second thing that is probably of note is that a group of the adventurers, along with Burn, have gone down into the cleared out Fire Temple now, just to kind of prepare for the next stage of the campaign, which basically involves a very precarious leap of faith onto a stone platform that apparently magically rises up and down a chasm to the depths far, far below. And so Burn wants to study that a bit before anybody would step out onto it and potentially plummet to their deaths. So he is that's kind of what he's tied up with as we start. And he's specifically asked the 5 of you to gather up at the Swinging Sword Inn to meet with this woman, this dwarven woman that was rescued some sessions ago from the clutches of the water cult. Apparently, Burn believes that you have something, or she has something that you might be able to help her with. And he kind of just leaves it at that, and kind of with the reassurance that they will make no move on the cults until you return from that task. And he thinks once this business with her is concluded, that he will be sufficiently comforted that it might be possible to delve deeper below the temples. And so you have all gathered this morning at the Swinging Sword Inn. There is coffee and tea that is being brought out to you by Kalessa Urkel. She is the human proprietor of the inn. And as she pours the warm beverages and brings plates of pastries and fresh fruit and such really whatever you ask her to bring that she has available to you for breakfast. She kind of eyes this guest that is at the table with you with some degree of curiosity. For across from the table, you see a red-haired dwarf. Her hair is braided and wrapped atop her head. She's wearing very worn traveling clothes that, although they are clean and pressed, they show signs of wear and tear. Just patchwork and frayed threads at the ends of some of the seams. She has a rather warm expression upon her face. She's looking a bit healthier than Rarith you would have seen her last. She and this companion, this halfling companion of hers, were both looking a little starved out a bit when you met them. But she's looking warm in the cheeks. She's very pleasant as she speaks with you. And as you approach the table initially, she would nod with gratitude at Rarith, who was directly aided in her rescue from the water cult. That halfling that was with her, the halfling with the curly hair and the very youthful appearance, is fairly fidgety in his chair. As she maybe gets a few sentences into her dialogue with you all, he gets up and he just starts like kind of hopping around from table to table, just getting into small talk with really anybody that will listen to him or pay him any mind. And so he's kind of distracted as she begins to tell you a little bit about who she is and what her ask of you is. And so she starts in and she says, friends, my name is Gersel Fireforge. Not sure if that name means much around here anymore, but I am the descendant of King Torhild Fireforge of the realm of Besselmere. I found my way to this region as a result of my lineage. I have undertaken the task of locating the lost city of Tyar Bessel, our kingdom's seat of power during its reign several thousand years ago, and catalog in detail the location of other places of importance to my clan, such as it is, in an effort to preserve our history. Sadly, as you all well know, it would seem that our former city has become something of a place of refuge for these cults that have perverted its once glorious halls with its worship and sacrifice of this dark god of theirs. So, in learning that, I decided to focus my attention on the above-ground points of interest to my people and my family. One such location that I had hoped to find was a place known as the Vale of Dancing Water. It is a sacred place, and it is said to hold the summer palace of my very late, very far removed ancestor, King Torhild. All I had to go on were rumors. There are no historical accounts of where it is located, just myth and legend. Some say that he is actually buried there, for his remains are not known where his tomb is located, and that he is buried with innumerable amounts of treasure. I'd managed to find, I think, this place. I traveled south of here, along the Keldell River, and I followed a path up into the mountains, a small stream that originated from the highest peaks. And just as maybe 2 days travel from here, I made my way into a valley where I found a switchback road, very ancient, that crawled all the way up the mountainside to where I could see an archway, definitely of dwarven make. I eagerly set out to make the long trek up those stairs, but I was tracked and followed by members of, I believe, this water cult that it sounds like some of you have had some dealings with. That is how I came to be down there in that room, tied up such as I was. And was very fortunate that you were able to come and find me. Now I would like to get back to my work of trying to find that place. And I understand, I understand. You are all very busy and you have this heavy quest in front of you, but Byrne suggested that you might be able to help me with retracing maybe my own steps and finding this place. I fear that the cultists maybe have infiltrated it and are maybe plundering its riches or its treasures. The location of these places, as you know, as I've said, are speculated to hold treasure left behind by my forebears. Treasure that is rumored to include powerful weapons that I am sure the cults are covetous of to wield in this conflict that they're bringing upon the world. It would be better for us to have our hands on such things, no? And if you don't want to do this for me and my family, consider that motivation enough. We might be able to use these things against them. I would have no problems with that. Should you find something that could be wielded by you to use against these cults, by all means, they are yours.
What do you seek in this place? Are you trying to trying to inherit something from was it your granddad?
Well, no. The kingdom is defunct. There's nothing to inherit. Surely if there is some treasure there, I would appreciate if there are any family heirlooms that they would be returned to me and my family. But if there is something that could be used to benefit you all in this fight against the cults, I would have no problem with you using it until the conflict is over.
Well, the Vale of the Dancing Waters sounds like a place to find water cultists. So that much lines up with logic.
Do you plan on coming with us?
She says, I would be more than happy to accompany you there if you think it useful.
Well, if you've been here before, then it probably would be useful for you to try to retrace your steps by retracing your steps.
I would gladly hit the road with you all if you would have me.
Can you hold your own in a scrap?
Well, I'm not much of a fighter, but I know well enough to hang back and let the professionals deal with such things if it comes to that.
One question that I have about the city of Tyarbasel. You say you're descended from the inhabitants of there? Is it possible that any maps of that city could be gotten by us? Is there anything like that exists? Perhaps maybe even at the place where we're going?
Could be. If it is true that it is the summer home of my forebear, King Torhild, it seems entirely possible that such a thing might be there. Assuming that it has been preserved and is still intact.
Sister, of course, I'm interested in surveying any dwarven properties. I'd definitely be willing to go. If I don't want to bring you along if you're going to be a liability, though. Somebody that we're going to have to watch after. Do you not have any skills?
I'm a historian. I'm not a fighter.
then perhaps you should wait here.
I mean, a compass that stays out of the way is better than no compass at all, don't you think?
She could point us in the direction of it, of course, but I'm sure that we can find our way. I'd hate to put somebody at risk. Like, these places are dangerous. These cults are dangerous.
Brelnera speaks true. Perhaps I can do some tracking. Maybe find our way.
Any landmarks we should keep an eye out for?
Well, I can draw you a small map. Basically, what you will want to do is follow the river until, and I'll mark it. There's a particular stream that you would want to follow. Once you find that, it should lead directly to your destination.
Is the stream now a river, though?
Well, the stream comes down out of the mountains, so I don't really know how the effects of the devastation orb. It seems like it, from what Burns says, it's kind of right just in this little region, right?
I don't think it reaches very far out, so it's possible that it's still traceable by your map.
Well, let us hope that no further ecological devastation has made its way up into the mountains, and that things have remained as they were when I was there about a month ago. And she will, any other questions that you have for her?
Any particular family heirlooms you want us to keep an eye out for?
She doesn't really have any expectation of what might be found. She's more or less just trying to catalog the location and like kind of confirm that this is what she thinks it is. She would probably say that the most prominent thing that is missing from her family is King Thorhild's crown. But, she probably would say she has no anticipation of you finding it at this place. Because she's not convinced that he would be entombed at his summer home. Like, she believes that that's probably another location, but she just has no idea where to search for that. So that's another thing that maybe she's looking for, is further evidence of other sacred places or other places like the King's Tomb. So she's more in it for the kind of the informational pieces of it versus like a tangible treasure or something.
Do you have an idea where the tomb is based off of the summer home, though?
She does not. She doesn't have any follow-up information at this point. But she's hoping that maybe you'll be able to find something maybe there.
And just for me to be clear, she was out looking for this. This was where she was captured by water cultists and then was taken to where she was rescued from, the temple.
Yeah, she basically would have been taken down the stream to the river and then up the river to Riverguard Keep and then down below into the temple.
All right, very good.
For what it's worth, if any of you had seen like a halfling getting taken down below, and that halfling is the antsy one that's running around the tavern right now, who's probably playing an instrument up on the stage right now.
If I recall correctly, that was our first encounter there when the boat came up the river.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Okay.
And based on like what's going on here, you quickly understand that they don't have like a close relationship. They were just two separate people that were captive and were in captivity together. But they have a little bit of a survivor's bond, I guess, that they're still hanging out together right now.
I would want to talk with the halfling and find out how they were captured.
He would tell you that he was, he'd probably say something rather interesting to you, that he was coming up the river from down south, that he's from like a really small village. And he had heard that there was a musical troupe called the Windwards that he wanted to go and audition for. And I don't know who that matters to. Like, who went to the Air Temple? Okay, so
I recognize that name.
Yeah. So he tells you that he was apparently going to go and try out for their troupe, and so he was destined to end up in the clutches of a cult one way or another.
And does he have any fighting skills?
No, 0. But he can play the flute, okay.
May not be all that handy at the moment. Yeah, I mean, I would not request that she come with us, but I wouldn't deny her if she requested to, I suppose. So
She's not going to push it one way or the other, because she's kind of like, she knows what happened last time. She knows that she's in over her head off this cultist thing, but if you guys had thought like she would be useful in, I guess the thing here is you've got a dwarf that's going with you, so if there is dwarvish writing in there, like you've got somebody that could read it, she would be there more or less for interpretation pieces. But if you think it's more important for you to secure the place, make sure it's safe before she comes out there, she's fine waiting too.
I think that probably would be best.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Okay. Is there any business that you have in town before you all set out?
I'll probably pick up a couple of healing potions if I can.
Sure.
I would as well.
Spugnor is probably non-stop just making healing potions at the moment.
Just throw him in the healing potion box, and Gang pulls out his one that has like 8 healing potions. Toss him in.
All
Those
right.
are what, 50 apiece, right?
50 apiece, yep.
Yang, did you get those from that doctor that was wandering around?
What doctor?
There was a doctor that was wandering around here for a bit.
I didn't see no doctor. All I seen was that weird wizard guy.
Spug Noir?
Is that his name?
Something like that.
My real name is Spoonoir.
Spoon what? That is a wonderful name, I'd say. Nothing bad about it at all. And just for the first time, Yang actually chuckles at something. Thanks for the potions.
And one thing I suppose that I hadn't taken care of in between or whatever, I would go to the St. Cuthbert Church here that I'm sure is helping kind of, rebuild here and take care of stuff, that I would give a large donation to them to assist with.
Yeah, so just a reminder, there's no actual Church of St. Cuthbert here. What they have is like this little shrine that's called the All Faith Shrine, and it's kind of got little symbols of all of kind of the more prominent gods in the region. And that had been previously was tended to by Brother Iridon, but he's gone and he's dealing with some elven corpse or something in Verbabank. So there isn't really like a religious steward here at the moment.
Okay.
But if you were looking to make like a donation to like kind of help out the town,
Sure.
um
In the name of the Church of St. Cuthbert, so
Yeah, I'm trying to think like who that might be. I think there's probably, you know what? It's probably being spearheaded by the crew that works the quarry, that dwarven company. I think they're probably doing a bit of cleanup and such in the town, trying to reinforce some of the waterlogged buildings. So if you go and like give them a donation, they will use that to kind of help invest in some of the repairs and some of the they're probably digging some ditches to try to irrigate and drain some of this water away from the fields, away from the town.
Okay.
Was the All Faith Temple, was it completely repaired? It had been vandalized by cultists.
Yeah, I believe there was some cleanup that had transpired of that, so we will say at this point it has been, with the help of maybe some of the adventurers, using some downtime to kind of get on their hands and knees and scrub away with some solvent and such, that it has been more or less repaired. It was never like a fancy thing. It was a pretty drab little place of worship, but yeah, looking better now.
Oh, and if you wanted to give some money, I was with this Magnus guy. I believe he represents the Cuthberty Church, Donovan.
I do know Magnus from 10 years ago. Yes.
Oh, well, he's back.
Really? I would seek him out to facilitate any of this, and I'll give him 500 gold pieces.
And he'd probably make up some rhyme as you give them that, like...
Okay.
I don't know what to say.
I'll pat him on his shoulder, kind of nod my head, and
I'll hold all the gold, he says.
yes.
So he'll make sure to he'll be the fiduciary of your coin and make sure that it's spent properly here amongst the town.
Okay.
So.
Or just put it in his pocket.
He may do that.
Maybe. I don't know. That doesn't seem like Magnus's style, but I could be wrong. All right. So, any other things that you would like to do here in town? If not, we will hit the road. So, not going to get too detailed here on the travel there to the valley. Basically, it's kind of like early spring, late winter at this point, so pretty chill weather as you're heading out. But of course, the region has been completely barren of any snow this season. And so it's just kind of like dead grass, just cold, gray skies as you begin to follow that river. Kind of at this point, the river is artificially become elongated and come pretty much right up to the village of Rastor, and that wasn't the case until recently when the cults had brought a devastation orb to Rastor that detonated. And so you head south some amount of, well, what did I had her say? It was like a 2 days journey. We'll say it's 2 days journey from Riverguard Keep, which I believe is 3 days from here. So your travel is going to be basically like in total there and back again 10 days. So you make it 3 days to Riverguard Keep. You probably stay overnight there before following the river, and eventually you'll pick up on that stream that she dictated to you would head up into the mountains due west. And so you begin to follow that for another 2 days. And so it takes you to this valley. I'm going to switch you onto a map.
And this is north, right?
This would be more south. So the
South?
Lortmals are south of Rastor. So And
Okay.
and that's where you're basically heading up into the mountains. Hopefully I don't have any token vision or anything like that that would restrict you from seeing the entirety of this map, but and this isn't my map, I just pulled something off the internet that I was like, this is good enough to kind of detail you for you what is happening. So right over here, if you can see, this is a huge map, but down in kind of like the lower right, you can see there's like a river, a little stream there that kind of winds its way up this from the valley up this little switchback. That's what you were following. And so again, it's very barren, it's very cold, very windy as you start to make your way up the slopes. Is there anything special that anybody is doing or looking for, or a conversation that you're having as you get your way up here? As far as time of day, we'll say it's like 11 in the morning as you come upon this valley.
As her normal ritual, Brelnera would be handing out 4 good berries the night before to everybody.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
And are these the good kind? I've had at least 6 different people give me these, and they all tasted like shit. Is these good?
They have a hint of alcohol in them.
It's better than that one bugbear guy gave me.
What'd he give you?
Oh, Roland.
Yeah.
Let's just say they tasted like shit.
Oh, well, I find these fantastic, but
I
I
thought you
also
called
like
them
drinking.
crapberries.
I don't know why, as you're discussing good berries, I feel compelled to tell you this, but I don't think I mentioned that you get some rerolls that were donated to you earlier. So those are from Casey. So you got 5 rerolls in the pot.
Thanks, Casey.
Thank you, Casey.
Tries to kill us yesterday and is trying to save us today.
That's right.
So, any other actions that the group is taking as you're making your way up the switchback?
I'm doing the military thing, keeping, looking for points of possible ambush. I mean, all this, just basically getting a lay of the land, keeping my eyes peeled. So
I would be doing the rangery thing. I would be looking for any kind of tracks.
Yeah, give me a survival check.
Uh,
Right, 28. Definitely you pick up on fairly sizable group of footprints and tracks. Maybe what we'll say is there's a patch of a little bit of like kind of soggy earth that runs up against this stream, and from there you definitely pick up on footprints, boot prints of a sizable group. You're guessing it's probably at least maybe 12. And amongst them is a pair of larger boots in the mix. Something on the more like ogre giant sized boot print.
I'll point these out to Donovan.
I'll take a look at them.
Pretty fresh. You guessed that these are in the past couple of days.
Coming or going?
Going up the slope.
Same direction we're going.
Yes.
So it looks like we may be behind somebody else that's going same place we're going.
Could even be reinforcements. for whoever's already there.
Any little bitty boots, like the dwarf and her little guy friend there?
So I would suggest that a dwarven boot probably isn't super small itself. You know, dwarf's maybe short and stout, but his feet's probably just as big as a human's. So, because dwarves are medium-sized creatures, right? Am I crazy? Okay.
Yeah.
So nothing like small, like nothing diminutive. Just like regular medium-sized humanoid boot prints. And then
one large set.
One pair of big, yeah.
But no Keds or Oshkosh from the little halfling guy.
No.
And what about animal prints? Or do they have any animals with them?
No animal. I mean, nothing that is seems associated with that group. Typical wildlife stuff. All right. Other actions that the group is taking as you're heading up. So I got Donovan. You're kind of in maybe the front, sort of surveying the way forward and such. Anything special Yang is doing?
I mean, only thing we can do is like look left, look right, shrug. Doesn't see anything.
Keeping an eye out.
Just an eye out.
Let's see. Peanutty or Bralnera, anything that the two of you are doing?
Looking for dwarven artifacts.
Okay.
Maybe writing.
If no one's scouting ahead, he would scout ahead. And if someone is, then he would probably hang back. You know, one way or the other, stealthy style.
Okay.
Be the unknown,
I think
wild card of the group.
Donovan's in the front, kind of doing that part. So if you're hanging maybe towards the back, kind of keeping the eyes on your backside as you're going up. Okay. Another important question: does anybody have anything that protects them against surprise? No.
I don't think so.
All right. Then
I have the alert feat.
You have the alert feat.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So, what is everyone's passive perceptions?
17.
16.
Yeah, 15.
Okay.
12.
Oh, it doesn't matter. But Donovan's thing will come in handy here. So, if you can, I know this map is huge, but if you can, try to scroll up to kind of like the upper left-hand corner of the map, and you'll see maybe your tokens are there. Very small. You just have to zoom in. So, does that look about maybe how you would have like spread yourselves out as you're traveling, more or less?
Yeah, assuming that we would be kind of moving in this direction.
Yeah, you'd be moving like to the left or forward here, yeah. So as you are moving, there is the beginnings of some rumblings, and the whole switchback is trembling and shaking. And Donovan, you're the only one in this instance who was going to have a chance to react to this. So what I need for you guys to do is roll initiative, but there's going to be a surprise round that's going to happen.
Okay.
And Donovan, you will act in the surprise round.
Guess we should have waited for the combat tracker before we rolled.
Oh, you guys are done there? Oh, Donovan's went on.
Oh, do we get that +3 from Donovan? Was that? Is that
This
a thing?
person and this person.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All right.
Not just some person.
Well, let's see. So, Rarith, you had what?
16.
16? Peanutty, did you
18.
18? Okay, I think you're all on there.
And if I get +3, I should be 14.
Okay, I'm not gonna change it because it won't matter.
Okay. Yep.
So Donovan, you're feeling this rumbling, and this tremor, and based on like having that alertness, that hypersensitivity to such things, you're feeling like something is burrowing up underneath you.
Okay, can I tell where?
Just generally, like in the region near you, like underfoot.
Okay. I will move. I move to here to get everybody in my purview and or in my aura that I have going on, and holler out to everybody, take cover, there's something coming up below us. Ankeg something.
And as you like you're mid-sentence in declaring that warning, when out of the ground a purple worm erupts out of this crater, you know, some 25 feet in diameter. It is the largest creature that I think that any of you have ever seen. And as it's pulling its body up and out, it's just more and more and more of this thing. And it like opens up its maw, and you just see like teeth the size of spears. And just like jagged, weird bone growths all kind of sticking up out of its form. And as it ushers forward, it's just moving like straight forward.
Okay. Scatter. I turn to saying that.
And it is going to, as it's moving forward, Bralnera, you're most concerned about its teeth and this bulldozer of a truck of a creature that's coming straight at you. That the thing that you maybe need to be worried about is this stinger on the back end of its tail that is trying to whip around and drive that spike into you. And that one is a 29 to hit.
Miss.
21 points of damage and a con save. Unfortunately, you're in the aura. So what was that, a +3?
+3, yeah.
And you make the save. Which means you only take half of this damage.
It's a good thing you're a dwarf too, isn't it?
That's true, yeah. So, what is that? 19, and then you have resistance to poison damage.
Yeah.
So 9 points of poison damage. And then it will try to attack with the bite.
My lord.
Yeah, that'll probably hit.
$17 points of damage.
I'm up.
And a dex save.
I'm unconscious.
Okay. So you get swallowed up by the creature.
Holy shit.
And then we are to the top of the order. Regular round starts. Donovan, it is your turn.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
And for what it's worth, there is still like tremoring that is happening, and like rocks and such are kind of rolling down off of the mountain. So like this is just like a complete scene of chaos that is transpiring.
Okay.
So it begins. Oh goodness.
Yeah, what a beginning. Okay. All right. I I gotta steel myself here.
I probably should switch this music from not being this like pleasant tavern song.
To the other. Oh.
Yeah, I need an oh song.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just. I was not expecting this. So I got to remember what I can do here. All right. I am going to bonus action. I cast Spirit Shroud. I think that's. What is right here? Okay. All right. And then with that, I move to here and take my 2 attacks.
The 23 will hit. Do you want to use a reroll on your first one?
Do I? Probably wouldn't hurt, I suppose.
All right.
I will use, yeah, I'll use mine.
Oh, it was meant to be.
All right, yeah, so,
The 8 points with the attack that connected.
yes.
All right. Anything else, Donovan?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so you run over there. You slash at it with your sword, and it cuts a pretty deep wound, but you're getting the sense of the enormity of its hide and the thickness of its skin. This is going to be a tough customer to take down.
Yeah. No, you did get the 4 points, right, from the Spirit Shroud.
Oh, and then, okay, yep. 4 points. Thank you.
And I do want him to have his speed reduced by 10.
Okay.
That's another thing.
Sounds good. All right. That's going to bring us around to Yang.
I am not getting paid enough for this bullshit. Fuck it. He lets off all of his rope, stretches it out, and wraps it around the purple worm. Says the command word lasso. I'm gonna try and restrain this guy. DC 15 dexterity saving throw.
Oh, man. All right. Here we go. I guess it could happen. Let's see. Here we go. Strength saving throw?
Dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw.
The initial
that's
save is
good.
dexterity.
He's gonna fail that. It's restrained.
He is drained. And then just from the rope, little black tendrils begin to form a little bit, and I'll activate my Eldritch Claw tattoo because shit. That's my
Sounds good.
turn.
All right, that'll bring us to Peanutty.
Okay. Dang it. I was going to try to command it to regurgitate, but it has to understand me. All right. Let's try out this new toy. I'm going to blast it with the wand of fireball.
Okay.
For 6 charges, which is almost max. Is that good? I don't know. a try. Oh, it's a little Wednesday. Oh, no.
I mean, it's 8th level fireball, so that's pretty good.
Oh,
51 points of fire damage. All right. Let's see, can I just
drop it. Drop it. Try to make it spit out from there.
He does have to do a saving throw to see if he keeps him down. But he makes it. The thing just, as this fireball ignites and blasts against the backside of the worm, you can just see it kind of recoil, and it just screams in pain. And its behavior, it doesn't really have facial features, but you can just see its behavior looks agitated, and its stinger is like way up in the air, and it looks like it's just ready to like kind of come down wildly on the group. That'll bring us to Rarith.
First thing Rarith's going to do is move. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Move to there. I'm going to cast a little Hunter's Mark action as a bonus action. And we're going to be firing 2 shots. And he's restrained, so that's an advantage, correct?
Yes. That one hits. That one hits as well.
Okay. We're going to give him some damage. That's 29 points.
So you, just so you know, you only get the sneak attack on damage on one of the.
Yeah, that's right. So it's -2 on that second one. So 27 points.
Forget your hunter's.
Yeah, I've rolled one of the hunter's marks. Here comes the other one. Okay, so that's a total of 10 more points from hunter's mark damage. Do I get 2 hunter's marks or just one?
Hunter's mark is every time you hit.
Okay. So that's going to be 15, what did I say, 27, 37 points total.
37 total? All right.
And then I am going to take my third attack.
That'll hit.
Yay. I'm going to re-roll that piercing damage. Yeah, 9's better. And final hunter's mark. 10, 11, 12 more points of damage there.
All right. 3 arrows sink into the purple worm. Manages to make that saving throw. So, Bralnera, at the start of your turn, you take some amount of acid damage, so you'll have 1 failure on the death save. And then you'll make your death... Oh, God. Oh, God. So close to a 1. Okay. It's just a fail, so you got 2 fails. 1 more.
We got rerolls, right?
You got rerolls. You want to use 1 here?
Yeah, I'll use 1 here.
All right, so 1 success, 1 fail.
Okay.
As you're getting slowly digested by the purple worm, it will take its turn. It is restrained. It is pissed.
Oh.
It's going to bring its tail stinger down and attempt to hit Yang. It has reach with that tail.
This is
Disadvantage. Avoids the
Oh.
crit. It's a 16 to hit.
that barely misses. It's a
The-
17.
The bite is going to come at Donovan. Attacks with disadvantage. And an 18 will miss.
Man, alive.
Brings-
14.
Brings it back around to Donovan.
Okay. Hmm. I am going to 2 attacks on it. It's restrained, so that's advantage, right?
Yep. Uh, 19 hits.
Okay, so the damage is 8 plus. Where can I find this? Plus that. Plus, then I'm going to add a second level smite into that. Jeez. So 15, 23 looks like.
23. Okay. That was just 1 attack, right? That was the first attack.
That was just the first attack. And then my second attack.
22 hits. Is that the same bonus that you get? It looks like it was an initiative roll.
Yes, it is the same. That's
Okay.
weird.
That's fine. Yeah, it's weird that it came up initiative, but 22 hits.
I'll just re-roll the same damage up here. 13 plus my D6 or my D8 for the Spirit Shroud.
Another 6 points. Con save for the worm. As you strike into, as you light up your sword, and you start like hacking and slashing at it. That like patch of flesh on it seems to kind of like warm up, or it's like kind of illuminated. It's radiating, and there's some bubbling and some churning that is happening in the stomach of the beast, and it just spits out, and you see Bralnera go sailing down, drops right where the token is, right here off of the beast.
Ooh. Okay. With my with that spell, I am also choosing it to be to lose 10 again on its movement.
Okay, that's not cumulative, right? It's just for the round.
Right, until the
Okay.
start of my next turn, its speed is reduced.
Sounds good. That'll bring us to Yang.
I'm gonna claw it. Let's do all the monk attacks. Why not? First one.
Uh, 20 hits.
Plus 1d6 because of the claw. 14
Okay.
damage. Second attack.
Hits.
1d6 because of the claw. Oop. I will flurry of blows because this is really big and very scary.
Hits.
1d6 extra because of claws. Please die. I don't want to deal with it. Oh, and since I am an open hand monk, I'm going to do one of my open hand techniques, and he can't take reactions for this round. So I'm going to take a step back,
Sounds
and I'll
good.
hit him one more time from here.
That hits.
For one more sets of damage. You know what? Probably not going to work, but we'll also stun. Con save, DC 14.
Anything's possible. But not that.
Oh. That's it.
All right. Coming up next is Peanutty.
All right. He's gonna drop his longsword down into the snow and run up, samurai style. Plop a little potion on there as he strikes. That's for her, and then this is for the big guy.
$18 will hit.
Add in a mobile flourish. This thing here. So, 4 more damage, and to try to knock him back.
So total of 16.
Yes.
All right. You slash into it. This thing is it's all bound up by the rope, and it's getting slashed at its side by Donovan, and then you come in and you stick it from this side. It looks like it's tugging away at the rope, almost like it wants to burrow back down, but it can't because of the strained rope.
Hit it again. Oh, actually, we used to have a advantage because of that, huh?
Yeah. Oh, did you not roll? Just chuck a d20 in to see if it's...
just in case what happened.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then
I guess
you have
I hit him
another
again.
attack. Okay.
Finally got second attack. There it is.
Yep. 20 will hit.
All right. It's just 9.
9 points. All right. It's not looking too good. It's definitely like fighting with all of its might to try to burrow back down. Rarith, it is your turn.
Well, let's see if we can keep that from happening. Hello.
Ooh!
Critical hit.
Nice.
All the d6 belong to you.
That, you probably got a ton of stuff to pile on, but just for expediency's sake, we will say, he only had 9 hit points. So you strike, you sail that, it just like opens up its maw, and the arrow just like sails into the bowels of its throat, and must strike at something vital in there, because as it does, it just kind of curls up, lets out this hideous last screech, as it just kind of curls up and folds and flops down and hits the ground with a thunderous thump. And it seems that as it does so, the tremors seem to subside a bit. The rock and debris that is falling from up above seems to slow down.
Ah, that's right. Dwarf Steer's terrible. killed it from the inside. She'll stand up. Drink a
Yang,
potion.
Yang just walks over to you, plops 4 good berries in your hand. I think you need it. And he'll also throw in a healing potion your way.
I'll give you one as well.
Here's to hoping this mountain isn't crawling with these things.
Oh, you don't think?
Let us hope not. I don't feels that the tremors have subsided, so I think for the moment we're safe.
All right. So some healing potions are quaffed, some good berries eaten. What are you all thinking? The path ahead seems like this trail will begin to narrow and turns into like a more of a worked switchback up the road versus this natural path that you've been taking. So you feel like maybe that path that you're seeing up ahead is what Grissel had mentioned to you that she had found. Continuing forward.
It looks like we're on the right track.
I'm going to switch this over.
How are you feeling, Brownera?
I'm fine.
You're good now?
Yeah. It took like 4 or 5 healing potions and all the good berries that I had, and but I'm fine. It's nothing for me. Like it's typical. The dwarf gets eaten all the time.
It's really a common occurrence for you.
I
It
will.
does tend to happen.
Are you out of healing potions? You want one? You
No,
want
no,
another one?
I've got plenty.
Okay.
Maybe a little more warding next time.
Yeah.
And, maybe running behind the dwarf, not such a great idea. Although, that was some powerful poison. I don't know if you humans could have handled it.
Well, let's hope we don't find out.
Are you all able to see at all on this map?
I can see the segment where you put us on. Like a little cutout square.
Yeah.
It's like a little switchback.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Looks like Tokyo Drift.
Yeah. We'll see what's going on with it. But basically, as you move forward, you get onto this track, this switchback. The trail is from where you're standing at the base of it, like looking up. You can definitely see what Grissel was speaking of, that it seems like it rises to a summit where there is a constructed archway that seems to lead deeper into the mountain at the top. You think that maybe you can make out maybe a pair of statues up there that look vaguely dwarvish, but from your vantage point, you can't really make out finer details than that. So, just kind of like before, as you're moving up, anything special, anything in particular that you guys are up to as you're moving your way up?
Now that you say that, yeah, I'm going to turn into a brown bear.
Sounds good.
I don't trust you.
You shouldn't.
Hey, Rarith, take me in. Like he's pushing his way towards the front more.
I would say the switchback here is probably like 10 feet wide, so I think you could go 2 by 2 if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'll just continue to be up front and keep my eyes peeled.
Nutty might play an angelic melody and cast levitate on himself, and then try to go straight up, like to do a little scouting, I guess, maybe ahead, kind of like you know what I mean, like float up
Floating
ahead
up.
of him to try
What
to see
is
if there were
with that
anything
incessant music? You are going up, huh?
Okay, so you rise vertically up to 20 feet, and then you remain suspended there. You can move by pushing or pulling against a fixed object or surface within reach. Okay.
So I guess just kind of going up, like.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like rock, right? So, like, if you're floating up, you could pull yourself up kind of onto the ledge and then start to rise from there. So you're kind of doing that at this point?
Yeah, just to keep an eye out for
Okay.
ambushes or.
Give me a perception check as you start to do that. As you're rising up to maybe here, you notice that at where the switchback ends at the terminal there, and then like switches back up to go the opposite way. You notice that there's like something silvery there. Looks like a line or a piece of string or wire that has been configured there, maybe just a few inches off the ground.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could go. Had to wait for them to get a little closer and then go investigate, get a closer look.
Okay. So the rest of you, feel free to
Sure.
start to move your way up the switchback. Peanutty, what you see there is it is a wire. It seems like it originates from like a boulder or a rock on the wall here to another kind of like opposite, kind of bound in there, by like a nail.
Okay. Maybe just draw.
In your head, Peanutty, you hear, "What are you doing?"
I found a trap.
Oh, maybe let the
Just
others
trying
know.
to decide if I should snip it or let you step over. What do you think?
Maybe let the others know in case there's more.
Yeah, not a bad idea. So let
What
So-
are you What are you doing?
Donovan, watch for tripwires. I found one up here. There may be more.
So, like, looking at this is not some mechanical feat that you're looking at. Like, this is very rudimentary. Like, it is literally like a tripwire that seems rigged to those boulders. And it looks like the net effect of this is if someone were to trip over that, it would dislodge the boulders and cause them to start rolling down the switchback. At least that is what it appears to be.
Watch your step, Dunny.
I'm sorry, I've got daughters fighting.
Oh, no problem. Donovan is
just-
locked in inner conflict as you were investigating the wire.
You want me to step over, or do you want me to disable it?
If it's something that I think they could easily step over and just leave it unmolested.
I mean, it's literally just a few inches off the ground, so easy enough to step
cool.
over it.
Nice.
Watch
So-
yourself, bear.
So that is what the group is doing. You're stepping over the wire and continuing up the path.
Yeah.
Sounds like a splendid idea.
All right. Sounds good. So you continue up the path. Maybe continuing. Peanut, you're still kind of floating up ahead of the group.
Oh yeah, it says I'm conflicting with the wall, or I can go around like that maybe, or not. Oh, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, the vision thing. That's basically you make your way up to here, and what you see there is that the path levels off and it widens at this entranceway. This, and behind these two dwarven statues, both of which are quite large. Maybe they're on a pedestal, maybe like 5 feet tall, and then they themselves are like 15 feet tall. So behind them, the archway is maybe like a 20-foot tall like entranceway into the mountain. Very impressive. Both these dwarves have scepters in hand. They're dressed in kind of. They look like they were, they're depicting royal servants, both with a hand outstretched in kind of a welcoming gesture. Chiseled straight from the mountainside rather than built from fitted stonework. Behind them, you see, curiously, two dwarves there. Both seem kind of like armed guards a little bit, but they also have kind of a little bit of like a kind of nicer finery that they are wearing, almost like ceremonial. And as you guys are approaching or making your way up, they both call out, "Hello, good sirs, welcome. Thank you for visiting, but this is a private affair this evening. You'll have to come back another time."
Private affair for who?
Well, there is a wedding underfoot.
A wedding. All the way up here, in the middle of nowhere.
Well, it may seem like a middle of nowhere to you, friend, but for us dwarves, this is home. This is a sacred place to our people.
And who may that be?
The bride and the groom?
You better say a name, sir. How we know you're not on the list?
And they're looking around, and they look at Bralnera for a moment, and they're like, well, maybe there, but the rest of you don't look like you're here to attend no wedding.
She's a bear.
Oh, that's right, you're a bear. So they don't make that comment. They just say,
In an impression to make friends, Yang will switch to Dwarvish as his one other language he knows. It's very improper to assume, good sir.
They both kind of like look at each other and they say, "What is your name, sir?"
Yang.
Yang. And they look around to everyone else and they say, "The bear have a name?"
That's Bralnera.
Well, we turn to look at each other once again. I guess it doesn't hurt to ask. Yang, is it? Wait right
Indeed.
here. And then, like, the one, like, kind of steps out, like, kind of towards the middle. And then the other, like, moves inward. And in that chamber, like, behind him, you can see what it looks like some kind of a courtyard. And there's another statue there, another 20-foot tall statue of a female dwarf in a gown that stands atop a stone dais. Her arms are outstretched in a welcoming gesture, her face carved with a warm smile, and there are unlit stone braziers that stand in each corner of that chamber.
Hey, Donovan, I'm willing to knock this guy out if you are.
Let's try and get some more information from him. And I ask him, under what... it's my understanding that this was the ancient palace of Lord Thorhild. It has been abandoned. That was our understanding. By what rights do you claim this place for your own to bar our entry?
Well, Rulek, the groom, has family ties that lead back to the Fireforge, right? Fireforges. So, in a way, that this place is home, and a natural place for a wedding for one descended from the ancient bloodline of that noble kingdom of dwarves that expired so many centuries ago.
Yes. Well, we are here at the behest of Giselle Fireforge. And I'm sure if there is one of her kin who is being wed, she would want nothing more than us to gain entry to give her blessing.
Who among you has the best insight check bonus?
I
As a
have a
bear or
plus.
myself.
I have a +3.
+5.
All right, Donovan, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, I was going to say my passive insight is 15, too, so.
That stinks.
So, as you speak the name Giselle, he's just kind of staring at you for a moment, and there's just like a delay in him acknowledging the name that suggests to you that he's just like totally bullshitting you. Like, and he's just like, "Oh yes, Giselle, we haven't seen her in quite some time, and she's very dear to." And he just starts like, this is all information that like Giselle didn't give to you. That like seems like she would probably have mentioned.
Yes. Well, saying her name Giselle as opposed to Gazelle, and him acknowledging that, I say they're lying.
I go to punch him.
All right, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
I'm in a wall. There we go.
Help.
It does.
Okay, that'll hit.
Screw it. Stunning strike.
Okay.
Con save.
All right, he is knocked out. Are you looking just to have knock him unconscious?
I mean, if no one have interrupted him, he was fully just gonna stun him, drag him to the cliff, and throw him over. But I assume people in the party might have other ideas.
So you start to initiate that. You cold clock this guy, he goes down, and then you just lift him up, and you see Yang like kind of fireman carry him over the ledge.
I'm no fan of weddings either, but come on, man, what are you doing?
He said he was lying.
They're lying.
They're lying, but all right.
They did not know the name of Gazelle Fireforge. And she is currently, as far as I understand, is the one who stakes claim to this place. Being
All right.
heir. Or at least descended from. So.
But it sounds like she's never been here. Is it possible these could be her cousins that maybe she hasn't seen in a while, or no? I mean, Austin seems extreme, but hey, if you guys are sure.
I'm I am very sure.
All right. Bombs away. Sorry to interrupt.
So you give him a toss.
If no one stops him, Sue says, "Don't do it." He's gonna do it.
But Yang, dwarf tossing is illegal.
No, it's just severely frowned upon.
Yang's been watching a lot of Sephi play Red Dead Redemption 2, I think.
I think so too.
So
That was
you,
pretty brutal.
you toss him over the edge, and the body just bam, like is hitting like rocks and stuff. It's a pretty steep descent once it gets over the switchback. So, but right down into the valley where you started things off.
I move up to there and look in.
So yeah, follow suit.
All right, so as you guys start to move in, you move into this courtyard, and in here, it is open to the sky. So there's like a hole that's carved out, like you're at the top of this peak or this mountain where you're at, and there's like a chasm or a tunnel, I guess. We'll say it's like 80 feet tall, but it's like totally hollowed out, carved out, and gives there's like it's like a sky window, I guess, at the top of the mountain inn. The walls of this place are carved with depictions of dwarves, many seemingly royalty, tending to court and in these types of royal scenes. We already talked about the dwarf statue in the center of the room. There are 4 braziers. They are unlit in the corners of the room. And there's archways that lead out of this chamber. One to the east, one to the west, and one directly opposite of you to the north. Carved into the rock above the northern arch is a row of windows.
Do we know which way the other dwarf went?
I don't think you do.
Okay. Which way?
Can you you're still a bear, right?
Yeah.
Can you sniff out?
Which way he went?
Yeah.
Maybe. Can I sniff out which way he went?
Make a perception check as the bear. Or survival, whichever. Probably perception.
And using smell, I have an advantage. So, perception +7.
Donovan, why are you just staring at the bear?
What's that?
Why are you like looking so intently at the bear?
17 or 21.
I was talking to him.
Seems to be coming from the north. And as you're kind of sniffing around and sniffing that out, there are a number of footsteps coming into the chamber from that very direction. As a cadre of 7 or so dwarves are making their way into the chamber. And they are armed, and they look like they're ready to do business. Among them is one of the guards that was at the entranceway. So we'll form them up like that. This might be the point in the session where I'll say or ask, would you like to take a break? This might be a good little 10-minute break spot before we roll initiative. So,
Get another beverage and
yeah, let's do that. So thanks everyone for hanging out with us here tonight. We are right in the center of our session here. Group has just gotten to the apparent summer home of King Torhild Fireforge, and they have found that they've got some company with them. So we will see what happens with all of this when we get back in about 10 minutes or so. So go and grab a beverage yourselves and check back in with us in just a minute here. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us here tonight. Continuing to play through this session of the community campaign. We are playing through the Princes of the Apocalypse storyline. And right now, our characters have come on behest of sort of the family historian, biographer maybe, of the Fireforge clan, and now more or less defunct kingdom of dwarves that once resided in the Lortmill Mountains. And they're trying to... they've come to this place which is said to be, based on Gersel's research, this might be the place of King Torhild's summer home. They made the long, arduous journey here, dealt with a purple worm on the way, and then made their way up to the summit here, where a pair of dwarves were curiously at the front door and had suggested that there was a wedding underway. The group did not trust the dwarves. One of the pair at the doorway into this place had left to check on whether Yang was on the guest list or not. While he left, Yang cold-clocked the remaining guard, and he has since been tossed off the side of the mountain. The group is now entering into this open courtyard where there's a statue, an ancient statue of a female dwarf. And there are 8 or so dwarven guards that you see filing into the chamber. As they are doing so, like, they look armed and they look ready to deal with you all, when you hear kind of a female voice from the back say, "Who is it? Who is come to ruin my wedding day?" And you see, maybe you weren't expecting that there would be a bride, but there's a dwarven woman that is wearing a wedding gown, who is kind of at the back of the chamber opposite. Some of you can see her from maybe the just around the statue, but she has just entered the room as well. Donovan, you are first to act in the scenario presented before you.
Okay.
Oh, Peanut, you have to roll initiative.
Oh, and everybody gets +4. I don't know if that was done.
Here, Bob.
Does anybody need a boost? That would
I got
matter.
a 7
Yes.
total.
I would be at initiative count 25
25.
+4.
So you are actually up first then.
Gonna make it fairly simple for my turn though, so I'm gonna move up to, let's say, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Just sprint all the way up to there and dodge.
All right. Then it is done.
I would be at 15.
And Peanutty's at 8.
And I'd be at 12.
Okay.
I know it's a pain, isn't it? Don't you hate paladins?
Okay, so Yang took his turn. Donovan, it is your turn.
I will move up to there. Actually, continue to hear. And I will open up my senses, do divine sense, just to see if anything is afoot here. Any celestials, fiends, undead within 60 feet would be revealed. And would say to this lady, Griselle Fireforge hired us to come. Who are you?
You don't sense anything from your divine sense that hits any of those triggers.
Okay.
As you speak to her, she's just kind of very impetuous, says, "Who are you to ask who I am on my wedding day? Begone!" And she's just very shrill, just kind of like after them, chase them out of here. I will not have my special day ruined. And the dwarves probably, I don't know. You said you had like a pretty high passive insight. They're all like rolling their eyes a bit, like they're not dissuaded from bringing the fight to the group, but you could just tell that they're just like kind of tired of whatever she's saying. So dwarves over here start to move up. One is going to move up to Yang and try to take a swing. You're dodging. He just has a hand axe in hand. He makes 2 attacks. 15 misses. And 16, I think, misses.
Correct.
Over here, this one, 5, 10, 15, 20. Moves up to try to take a whack at Donovan. 16 misses, and... what do you know? Everybody gets lucky once in a while. 10 points of damage. This one's gonna just like step up and try to grapple you.
Okie dokie.
Wow, maybe he shouldn't have. Maybe it would have been a disadvantage. 20 on his strength check.
Oh.
Let's see, so he moved 5, 10. He'll just like push you back, basically back to here. It just seems like he's kind of grabbing you. He's like kind of like pushing you back towards the door. Rareth, it is your turn.
Bonus action, Hunter's Mark on the one that was just pushing my friend Yang. And he will have an arrow coming his way. $15 to hit.
15 hits.
And let's do the Dread Ambusher correctly this time. So that's 15 points of damage and some sneak attack.
Okay, he goes down. For what it's worth, these guys are not like heavily armed. They are like a leather jacket on, and they're very they look kind of weary, a little bit dirty, kind of soot-faced, and just kind of scratch marks on their bodies a little bit.
Well, I feel kind of bad about the need to kill them, but they attacked, so they're going to go after the one on Donovan.
It'll hit. He goes down.
And for my last act, go ahead and get this one up here on the corner.
Hits.
And he gets... I'm going to re-roll that damage. $12 points of damage to him.
All right, he is still up.
That is all.
All right, the dwarves are up. One up here goes 5, 10, 15, 20. He'll try to take a couple of swings with his hand axe. Natural one. Just miss. Second attack. Wildly misses. Next one here. Moves up here, and he'll take the dodge action. Relnera.
I'm gonna go around the statue. Drop form and say, I am Bralnera Boulder Granite, first daughter of Swen Battlehammer. Stand down. And try and intimidate these guys to maybe not get themselves killed.
Okay. Make an intimidation check.
It's a solid 7.
And like most of them are just like kind of like, do you know? Does that name mean something to you? They're like, I don't know. I've never heard of them. They're just like kind of get confused, like trying to figure out if there's like some message or something that they're not understanding or what. So, next up, a couple more of the dwarves, and then we'll have Peanutty. This one will just move 5, 10, 15, 20. And just be like, quiet down, you! He'll try to take a swing with his hand axe. Miss. And 13.
Misses.
Other one over here, 5, 10, 15, 20. Miss, and that one. Let's see what happens. That's a miss. All right, Peanutty, it is your turn.
All right. Dash up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And strike this guy with a non-lethal, but then, you know, push it under his arm and make it look like I ran him through. Because I'm just not feeling 100% about killing these guys, but team spirit and all that. Oh, really not feeling it, huh? Another strike here. Oh, no. I don't want to kill these dwarves.
Your heart's not in it.
Hey, buddy, lay down, and I'll leave you. I guess that's good.
All right. Oh. This is still the guy that Yang had tossed off the edge, right? Like, what? Like, where is this guy? Is he at the bottom of the?
He's still falling.
He's still falling. Yeah, he hasn't hit. So we haven't rolled fall damage yet.
So he's still alive, is what you're saying.
There's still a chance.
There's still a chance.
This guy's gonna move up and be just like, pipe down. He's gonna try to smack Peanutty. Oh, he gets a crit. He smacks you for 11 points of damage. And he's just like, you'd get out of here if you know what's best for you. You don't know who we work for. And then he tries to hit you again. 13.
That'll miss.
That'll miss. Then the bride is just like, won't go willingly, will you? And then her eyes start to kind of glow an azure blue. And then the bonds of like this illusion that she has conjured up starts to break as she transforms and enlarges herself into the figure that bore those giant boots. And there's an Oni in front of you who is going to cast a rather nasty spell. She's going to cast Cone of Cold.
Yang, Dunny, before I die, I want to apologize. I doubted you, but you're right.
I cast Counterspell.
Oh.
Okay. So
You got counterspell.
Holy crap. What the?
It's one of those as few paladin classes they get it. Oh.
So this is a 5th level spell. You're casting Counterspell as a 3rd level?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the level I got.
So you will make a roll. The DC is equal to 10 plus the spell's level. So DC 15 ability check using your, I guess it would be your charisma, right?
Yes. Which is 3. So, let's see.
Have a reroll. You can do it. I have faith in you.
I am going to use the reroll.
Yes.
I don't. Oh.
God.
Ah.
Damn it. Damn it.
So
That would have been cool.
she frags her own guys. Who I'm not even going to roll from. They just die. But that leaves Brelnera, Peanutty, and Donovan left to make a con save.
Peanutty, it looks like you are close enough that you get a +4 to your, or pardon me, +3. Is that what it is? Hold on. Just double
It's okay.
check.
He made it anyways.
Yeah, it's a +3. Con save.
All right, so everybody makes it. So you take half this damage. The total is 28. You'll take 14 cold. And then she begins to fly. Backwards through that archway. That'll bring us to the top of the round. Yang, it is your go.
Should I get her?
Yes.
That's all the information I need. I'll go after her. Why not? Out of my way, dude. I got bigger fish to fry. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45.
Oh.
That bastard.
Gets a little nick on your heels as you go by. 2 points.
I will bonus action Step of the Wind. And is she like flying? You said?
Yep. So she is currently. Let me just see what the ceiling is here. We'll just say she's 10 feet off the ground.
I will, with my step of the wind, hurl myself into the air because I think my jump distance is doubled. And I'm going to grapple her and bring her off the top rope, more or less, if I can.
All right. So grapple check.
Yang, buddy, what are you doing? What are you doing, Yang? Come on.
Just kind of like palms you in the face as you go to try to grapple her.
Here's my secret, Cap. I got 2 attacks. You try it once more.
Okay. Another grapple check. And that time you got her.
Her speed is 0.
Sounds good.
That's all I got. That's it.
What's your passive perception?
16?
Okay. It's relatively dark in here presently. But we'll say you still, even in the darkness of the room, pick up on there is a great axe that seems like it's leaning up against this brazier. Something that looks very ornate. And you know what? We're even going to say that you can see that the runes on the axe are giving off just like a little bit, throwing off just a little bit of light, and that's sort of why you see it. Donovan, it is your go.
All right. Move to there. Make sure that. Oh, yeah. Moonbeam right on the Oni.
Sounds good. Anything else, Donovan?
I think that is all that I can do.
All right. Next up is a dwarf over here who will run up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Got up here by Brolnera. Take a couple swings with the hand axe. $21.
That hits.
4 points. Second attack, an 18
Hits.
for 2 points. And then it is Rara's turn.
Bonus action, move the hunter's mark onto this guy here. And I will shoot at him. And I will hit him. And that's 8 points of damage. Hunter's mark damage of 3. 11 total.
11 total. Okay, he's still up.
He's still up. Well, here comes another one at him.
That'll hit.
And
He goes down.
and I am going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 over to there.
All right. That dwarf there will move up 5, 10, 15, 20. Try to take a couple of swings with the hand axe at Rarith. A miss and a miss. Relnera, it is your turn.
And step away from this guy. If he wants to take an attack opportunity.
Yeah, he will. He'll miss.
All right. I will cast Enlarge Reduce on Yang to make him bigger. And then I will move over here.
All right. Got a big Yang grappling the big ogre.
Oh,
This
and
feels
bonus
weird.
action, I will turn into a direwolf.
All right. Next up, Peanutty.
All right. So she's grappled on his level, or he's like holding her up? Because I know she was above, but he pulled her down. Right. I'm just wondering if I can get a swipe at her. Fine.
She's not pulled down just yet. Like the
Oh, I can't make it there.
spell just happened.
I'll reach her anyway. So actually, I have to go to there, and let's throw a couple of daggers. I'll hex her first. Hex and dagger.
And ability that you'd like to target with the hex?
Probably strength.
Yeah, strength.
Sounds good. So let's see, we got 2 attacks. One was a 26 and one was a 12. The 26 hits. 7 points.
Yeah, 7 plus 3 is a 10. For the hex.
Sounds good. Anything else, Peanutty?
That's all.
All right. She is going to cast a spell. And now that I know that there's a counter spell in the group, I'm going to start phrasing it that way. She's casting a spell. Would you like to do anything about it?
I do not. I am out of third level.
That was the only one. Okay.
Does Moonbeam go off?
Moonbeam will go off. Yep. Constitution save, and how much was the damage?
14.
So she makes it 14, so she takes 7. And then she casts Gaseous Form and drifts into a crack in the stonework. Slips away. Yang, it is your turn.
I got 2 options I'm thinking of. There's stairs here, correct?
There's 2 kind of looks like identical sets of stairs that just run in opposite circles down.
You know what? I'm big. I'm feeling confident. Because why not? Just to see what happens. I'm gonna punch the wall.
Okay. You punch the wall. Stonework, there's like a indentation there where the force of your fist hits the rock and the stone, but it crushes it. It crumbles a bit, but you don't get any sense of satisfaction that you smacked an Oni.
I'm going down the stairs. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I can only see so far with 30-ish feet. So I'm like right about here.
Okay.
Boop, boop, boop.
It's weird that I guess it's the darkness then at that point. You don't have dark vision or anything.
I am a bog standard human.
Yeah. Sounds good. Donovan, it is your turn.
Oh, I have 45 feet movement. There is some darkness, I'll go into it just a bit.
Okay,
But then I'll probably
how much more do you
there-
have?
15 feet.
Another 15 feet. Okay. You're kind of blindly going down the stairs, but it's like you feel like you're still on the stairs even after 15.
As I move up, I sheath my longsword and pull out my Mace of Disruption, which gives a 20-foot radius bright light with 20-foot dim. And prepare to follow Yang.
Sounds good. Yang, you probably hear like some kind of like loud. It's definitely like loud conversation happening down there, but just in the heat of the battle, like you're not exactly picking up on what it is, but it almost sounds like some abusive kind of talk from like a kind of like a boss to a subordinate. Battlehammer dwarf who's not really a battlehammer, just dwarf. Shifty dwarf is gonna run up here behind Nutty, I think. The other one is a direwolf, and that looks scary.
Hey, buddy. Now's your chance to scram. The bride's indisposed.
19 to hit.
It'll hit.
1 point of the damage.
All right, if you insist.
And he's just swinging. He's like, "You know who we work for. I'm taking my chances with the one below. You should probably get out of here if you know what's good for you." And then it's Rare's turn.
I can't shoot you because you're too close to me, so I will pull out a certain dagger and try to stab him.
Hits.
And that'll be for 6 points of damage.
All right, he survives that, but you get him good right between the shoulder blade.
I'll stab him again. No, I won't. I will re-roll.
Reroll. Down to 1 reroll.
Now I stabbed him.
Now you got him.
I'm going to re-roll that damage. I like it better. 7 points.
All right. He's still up, but he's kind of coughing up blood and such. He's on his...
I'll give him the opportunity to surrender.
Let's... Then it begs the question: is making the wisdom saving throw mean that he's wise enough to know what to do? I'm gonna treat that as he's going to hang tough, hang brave. He doesn't look like he's relenting. Anything else, Rareth?
That's it for me.
Okay, so that guy's turn is up. He's gonna take 2 swings at Rareth. The first, ooh, these guys crit. I don't know. Of all the, I guess of all the things you'd want to crit you, like these guys that don't have a bonus to thing that they do is probably good. So 8 points of damage on that one. And then the second one is a miss. Ralnera, it is your turn.
All right, I'll move up behind this guy. Take a little chop down on him. And that's at advantage because pack tactics.
And there's a crit.
Oh, that's a crit. So 4d6 plus 3 damage.
And you easily maul him, take him down to the ground.
And then I'll move forward another 25 feet.
All right. Peanutty.
Yeah, heading up those stairs. Or down the stairs.
On the stair.
5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 15. Oh, wall. 15. 20, 25, 30, 35. That's it. That's a dash.
All right. So at the end of the round here, I'm going to say that you all hear you hear a voice call out that kind of a little bit hushed maybe, but like kind of a loud call to comrades. A voice that just says, "Ah, they're coming! They're coming!" And then like a moment after that, you just hear a loud boom, almost like dynamite hitting like stone, and just like this high pitched sound, and then just like rock and debris kind of like dropping on the floor, on the level below you. Kind of a tremor below you as well. Top of the round, Yang. It is your turn.
I can't see anything. I gotta. You know what? I'm a bog standard human. I got bog standard torches. I'm gonna light one up.
Boom.
I feel weaker with this in my hands. And I'll
It's like
press
tiny.
forward.
It's like tiny.
Like a toothpick. Abe like puts it in his mouth.
And so there's a curtain right in front of you at the base there.
Pull the curtains if I can.
All right, I have to move you onto a different part of the map real quick.
Oh.
Pew pew pew.
Whoa.
Let's see. Did they make these a doorway? I just have to move your token a little bit further than where you actually are just so you can see. But basically... Oh, man. Okay, so there's like a little dwarf here that seems like he's like kind of got his ear, and this is... Now that you can see the scene, your perception is this is the guy that called out that he heard you guys coming down the stairway. And then you see that there's a dwarf here who has a short sword in hand, kind of a braided black beard. He's got short sword in hand. In his left hand, he's got this like kind of interesting looking like jagged like claw weapon. Some kind of like a fist weapon. And he seems to be standing guard right behind... Does Yang know the Lich?
Is he the same one from the monastery?
Yes.
Yes, he does, because he was there.
So you see the skeletal visage of Rennick Keltesh, who has got the war pick that was retrieved from Lareth in his hand, and he's like using it at the back of this wall here. So there's a number of stairs that give rise to a platform there where there is a stone altar that looks like the top of it has been ripped off, and I don't know, there's some like parchment on the ground. Like it looks like some kind of a search happened there at the altar, but now he's got Iron Fang in hand and he's kind of using it at this back wall here, and he's like using it apparently to like channel some kind of magic that is like blowing up the stone and like burrowing back. And he's just kind of like muttering to himself. He's like, "It has to be here! It has to be here!"
Yang's going in like he's ready to like knock out this little dwarf that's in front of him, and it's like Rennick, and just misses. What are you doing here? I thought you were at the monastery.
I was, but my search has continued. It has led me here.
That's about all I can get out in 6 seconds. So
Yeah, I think that's fair. I should probably add these guys to. I'm not sure that we're out of like an initiative thing yet, so. Yeah, we'll roll this. Okay. Donovan, it is your turn. So you, from the stair, you can hear this conversation happening.
Okay. I move as far as I can and holler out to Yang because I can't see him at this point.
So you can see like these curtains, I think, are withdrawn, pulled back.
Okay.
You maybe see like the back side of Yang. Is that as far as your token can move?
No, that's as far as I can move. With the dash is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that's 12 movement. So.
Okay, that's where you are. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, I just holler out, Yang, as I come around.
Sounds good. Yang, where you stand, you see kind of like a vapor kind of move into the chamber here, and the Oni apparates. And the Oni is just like, "Hey, boss, you want me to take this one out?" And he says, No. We know of each other. I think we have an understanding of one another. Rarith, it is your turn.
Okay, so I am going to just go ahead and grab this guy and try to slit his throat.
Sounds good.
Do I need to roll something for a grapple first, or just the attack roll?
I mean, it makes sense just to make an attack roll. $16 will hit. And he goes down.
And I'll look around and see that everybody has left me up here fighting, so I will start going in the direction that I think they went.
Sounds good. That will bring us to Brelnera.
You said that there's a battle axe up here?
Yeah, there's a battle axe resting by the brazier over here.
I'm gonna go take a look at that. See if I recognize it.
You don't probably recognize it, although the runes upon it, you probably, as a dwarf, might have some knowledge of. Why don't you give me just an intelligence ability check? We'll say with advantage because you're a dwarf.
Can I do Arcana?
Sure.
I have proficiency in that. So.
Sure. Yeah, if you got our proficiency in Arcana, that sounds good. Oh. Well, they look familiar, but you must have skipped that day in class or something. Because you're like, these runes, they mean something. And they probably portend something about its power, its abilities, but you're just not sure. You think that maybe they're called Deathic runes that are upon it.
The player doesn't know what that means, but okay.
But neither does a character, so...
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. All right, so that is what you do, and then it is Rennick's turn. Rennick casts a spell upon himself. And you just see like a shimmering barrier that springs into existence around him, jutting out 10 feet radius around him. So he's in this orb, and he just says, my friend, your services are not required here. This excavation is well under control.
Well, I'm afraid we were sent here to excavate. What's the exact word? We were told to come here.
Well, if you give me time, my work will be concluded and we will leave. I'm beginning to believe that what I am looking for may not be here after all.
I'll wait till my turn to for a proper response.
And he just kind of like looks at the others and he says, "No, I do not wish to harm them. They've given me such a gift after all." Guy right in front of him is gonna move up just like 10 feet. He's just gonna like ready the dodge action. Like it looks like he's got his fist in the air, he's got his sword at the ready, but he's not gonna be the one that makes the call. He's waiting for Rennick to say like whether you're a friend or foe. And he's just holding back. Peanutty, it is your turn.
I think the curtain is it all the way open or a little bit closed or what? I think Peanutty would try to stay unseen and telepathically whisper to Yang, "Hey man, what should we do? You know this guy?"
A little bit.
You say the word. We're here for you.
You can come in if you want.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Come in. Just try to act casual.
Friends. How many of you are there?
A couple more, I think. Bad with numbers. Is that what I think it is?
You see a slight smile.
Just try to act cool. I don't know.
Yang, it's your turn.
He was looking for it was a Soul artifact at the monastery, is that correct?
Yeah, he was looking for an orb, an ancient Soul artifact that I think he told you could bind the soul of a dragon.
Oh, so I assume your dragon orb is not where you expected it to be? What makes you think it's here? It's just somewhere home.
Because I believe it could be here because Thoramir Fireforge, the dwarven warrior who had the Sacred Stone Monastery long before the cultists. He has Fireforged blood. He may be interned in a place such as this. We tortured one of those foolish water cultists to get this information. Learn of this place.
Well, that sounds pretty on par. And he's gonna step forward a little bit. He's gonna go around. And you know what? He'll step out of the range and see what he does.
He doesn't do anything.
Well, it just so happens our sources might be similar. And that's what he'll say.
Let's see. Next up is Donovan.
Right. 2, 3. Looks like 6 to there, and then I'll move through the
The curtain.
curtain.
Move it down. There's the room as you see it.
I don't see anything.
Oh, I pulled the wrong guy.
Peanutty!
Sorry. I'm gonna leave Peanutty there just so Peanutty you can see into the room too. You stepped in anyway, right?
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, yeah.
There
There's
we go.
the yay, Itchley. Sunny day.
As I come through, I was pretty much planning on dashing just through that. Full movement to here. And stand ready. I've got a lich and an oni in front of me, but I don't take my eyes off that lich.
The Oni is up next. And they look pretty much a little antsy. Their fingers begin to kind of wave a spell. And they go invisible. Rarith, it is your turn.
We got no option but just to take the dash action and run up 60 feet.
And probably as you get into that chamber, you're going to start to hear the echoes of the conversation that are happening down below. Relnera?
I guess we're going downstairs. Into there.
Okay, exactly there. So you can see into the room. I'll just wait till you move into the room to move your token there. Rennick is seeing you all move in. He's holding that war pick in his hands, and he's like kind of twirling it about, and he says, I had heard that you did quite the number on Lareth. You're very powerful, and I am running out of time to find what I am looking for. Maybe my thing isn't here, but my search needs acceleration. And his gaze, his skeletal face kind of looks down at the weapon, and he says, "Maybe there is another way to find what I am looking for." And then he looks around the room. He looks at the dwarf that is standing in front of you and says, "Grumek, deal with them in your own way." He casts a spell and vanishes. And then Grumnik, the renegade here, is immediately going to run over here to Peanutty and start slashing at you with his sword and then trying to gut you with that claw.
I don't like your way.
So he hits you with the short sword, or attempts to. 15 to hit.
Miss. Miss there.
Short.
At 18 usually, but it might shield up.
Nice. So you block that first one.
Shield.
23 to hit.
Shield up to 23 would still hit me. Hit.
All right.
Yeah.
He's got an ally within 5 feet of you, so he's gonna get some sneak attack damage.
Oh.
He's one of those. One of those
these
guys. So 19 points piercing damage, and then it is a poisoned blade. So you need to make a con save.
That's good.
All right. So you take half as much of the poison. Must be this one. Yep.
Oh.
So 13 points of poison.
Ouch. Yeah, Peanutty's looking sickly.
Offhand weapon. A 22 to hit.
Shield.
Shield protects you from that one. Okay. Peanutty.
Yeah,
Then it's
barely, yeah.
your turn.
Okay. Yeah, just attack. Sorry, my thing's sticking up on me. There we go. All right. Dang it. Sorry. I'm dissonant whispers him. Big time. Fourth level. I'm scared. I hit him at that.
Okay. So he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
So he'll
Yeah, he missed it by 1.
he'll miss it. So
Yeah.
22 points. 22? Yeah, because you upcast it. Okay.
Yeah. And then I can't opportunity attack because I did shield already, right? That would be the same turn, so yeah. Or is that how it works? My opportunity or my reaction is used until my next turn, huh? Right. I think.
This is your turn.
This is your turn, so it would be back.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay, then I'll use it. Yeah.
So, yep, he'll start to move away from you. You
I'll
can
slash him.
slash him.
Oh.
Oh no. Do you want to use a reroll? You have 1 reroll left.
Yes. Yeah. I don't want to drop my sword. There we go.
Okay, that'll hit. So how much was it? 8 points?
13.
Or I'll just let you do the reroll on the attack.
Oh, right. Oh,
So-
yeah. Sorry, it rolls them together.
Yeah.
Okay, 8.
All right. Then he moves 5, 10. Over here. All right. That'll bring us to the top of the round. Yang, it is your turn.
There's still an Oni skulking about somewhere. Now that Peanut did take a number, so I'm gonna approach this fella and lay the smackdown.
Sounds good.
3 attacks. Number 1. That's 18.
Sorry, yeah, that hits.
And thanks to Bronera, I am still big.
Get a
Extra
D4 extra.
1 to 4. 14 points.
All right.
Second attack. Oh,
Oh, D6.
you got it. If I get footsie again, this will be really embarrassing. Oh, why is it me?
It has to be you.
Oh, it wouldn't be a game with Dawn if you didn't get one of these.
Oh, it's not that bad. You twisted your ankle, so your speed is reduced by 5 feet until you finish a
That-
short rest.
Just shit, fucking bastard. Punches him again. Because it's a good thing I'm a monk.
That'll hit. $11 points. All right.
It's action, bonus action, and a little bit of movement. I'm good.
All right, Donovan.
All right. Let's see.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna let this dwarf. I rolled him in. I realized he wasn't on the tracker and he was at the bottom. I'm just gonna have him. He was gonna take a swipe at. Miss. Yeah, probably another miss. 2 misses. So that's what his turn was.
All right. Knowing that the Oni is skulking around, Donovan casts See Invisibility.
Right there.
Oh,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Moves up to take the hurt here, but shouts out to Peanutty and Yang that the Oni's right in front of me.
All right. And then that's everything, right? So Oni seems aware that you can see it. It's kind of like sidestepping around you and gets over here to where Yang is, and it's going to just like kind of like stare you down just defiantly as it starts to slash at the unsuspecting Yang. So it's going to make 2 attacks here. First attack, 24 to hit Yang.
will do.
5 points of damage. Second attack is a 19.
Will do.
10 points of damage.
Will do.
You also see Donovan did have a little bit of a wound that it took earlier in the combat from up above, and it looks like that has like sealed itself up or healed itself. And that'll bring us to Rarith.
Rarith is trying to get down the stairs. Still not there.
Okay, you hear the sounds of battle around the corner here. Brolnera, it is your go. Moving through the curtain.
Yep.
I'm going to move you down here.
Did that Oni reappear?
It
Is he
did.
visible?
See, invisibility is from your perspective, right? Not everyone else.
Right. Okay.
It's where you remember it. I hit it just so it's like still invisible to everyone else. But
Gotcha.
you could still see it.
So even though it attacked, it's still invisible.
Oh, it's not greater invisibility, I don't think.
Okay.
No, I guess it is visible. There you go.
Yeah, I was hoping it didn't cast greater.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
It's a pretty good spell, right? Dark Tower?
It is.
So there's a guy right in front of me.
Yep, there's a dwarf right there.
I will take a bite at him. Oh, another crit.
Seventeen points. He goes down.
Now I'm going to finish my movement by going up here.
All right. That's gonna bring us to Groomnick. The renegade is still up. Gonna take a couple swings here at Yang. One with the short sword. Will miss. Second attack. A 24.
We'll do.
And some sneaky damage. So 23 points and a con save.
I might just save you the trouble and just say he's probably going to be down after this.
Oh. 24 points of the poison variety.
It bad. Drops.
Oh no.
He's gonna go and stab you with that claw. 19 to hit.
Will do. That's 2 death saves.
2 death saves. Peanutty, it is your turn.
Healing Yang, for sure. This much right here. 13 to Yang.
That's pretty good. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And move up here and start swinging.
That will hit. 14 points of damage.
Add on a defensive flourish onto that. So,
Nice.
and then the second swing. Ooh. Crit tonight.
Wow. So 19 points there.
Mm.
Nice. 20,
Yeah.
19, 39. Nice.
And which one are you attacking? You're attacking the Oni or the dude?
The Oni.
Alright, don't you still have them hexed as well?
Oh, yeah.
You do.
Yeah, thank you. I forgot about that. Thank you. So that'd be 3d6 total.
Yep.
All right, because of the crit. So, boom.
More points.
Yeah, that much necrotic.
49. Well done.
That will bring us to the top. Yang, it is your turn.
One, ow. I will stand up and say, that's a cheap shot. Gotta try again. And then, like, his wounds just begin to slowly knit and heal themselves. I'll use my action to do wholeness of body to recover 18 hit points. And then with my bonus action, I will patient defense.
Sounds good. Donovan.
Okay, let's see. Donovan will take an attack at the Oni.
Crit.
Ooh.
Oh,
I am going to dump a first level spell slot into that for Divine Smite. So we'll get the damage rolled there. 11 and 5 is 16, and then I will roll this twice.
Another 23.
I will go ahead and do a bonus action attempting to knock him prone with my shield master.
Knock him prone.
And then attack him again with advantage.
Oh. That one will not hit.
Ugh. And no rerolls. Okay. That's it.
Oni.
But he is prone, right?
Yep.
But then it's his turn.
And then it's his turn, so he stands up. He's kind of grousing a bit to the other one, like, fuck that Caltesh for leaving us down here with this. He's gonna look. He's gonna try to hit Peanutty. Claw. $25 to hit.
Holy smokes. Shield.
Shield help you with a 25?
Yeah, because of the defensive flourish, it's 24 now, so then
okay.
shield will be 29.
Okay, they hit shield. Second attack will redirect and try to hit at... I was just going to try to hit Yang, I think.
disadvantage. I defend so patiently.
20?
Oh, sure does.
8 points. And then Rareth, I think, is going to enter the room this turn.
Can I stay outside of the room and still see into the room to fire?
You can, just for logistical purposes, I'm going to have to move your token into the room so you can see. But
Okay.
maybe move your token to where you want to be standing, and I'll just mark it. Yeah. Put your token just here in the corner of the room so you can see what's going on.
Okay. Yang's still really big. I am going to shoot at the Oni. Yes, I am.
Crit.
Heck yeah.
And there was also the bonus action of Hunter's Mark there.
Sounds good.
So there's 13 points of damage. Some sneak attack. That's also doubled.
All the dice that get rolled are doubled, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna let you do all your dice rolls and you tell me like the final result.
I think I will also go ahead and favored foe.
And
I got
Gabe is yelling at you, chat. He says, +1 extra die for Piercer. In all capitals.
Gabe knows this trick. He likes to speak.
Okay, so that's an
Another D8.
extra D8.
And that's doubled as well, right?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
Well, I had all that counted, and then I forgot what it was.
I think I had 32, so you'd be at 35.
Okay, so I'll go with that. 35.
35. Sounds good. Somehow he's still up after all of that.
Well, I'll shoot it again then. Yeah, maybe not.
17? Probably hits. Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do it then. Another 8 points of damage.
Points. All right. Still up.
That'll be all I can do this time.
Rolnira, it is your turn.
I'll move down here and bite this guy.
That'll hit.
$11 damage, and can I get a DC 13 strength saving throw?
Oh, prone.
He is prone.
All right, you take him down to the ground. Anything else, Brelnira?
Yeah, in his head he hears lunch.
All right. Groomnik will stand up. Guess he'd be crazy not to attack that thing that just mauled him to the ground, so that's what he's gonna do. 21 to hit.
That hits.
$18 points. A con saving throw.
Mm.
24 points of damage.
Jeez.
Okay.
You're
Still up?
Still a wolf?
Yeah. I got 37. And I take half damage from the poison, so.
Well, the wolf doesn't, though.
Okay.
You as a dwarf take half damage on the poison, but your physical stats, alter when you switch.
Is Yang still big?
Is it the total damage then?
So total damage would be what, 35 plus, what is it, 42? So the DC then would be 21.
So no.
It was fun while it lasted.
But you're still
Then I'm a dwarf again.
okay. Then he's gonna take his second swing. Will miss. Offhand with the claw. 16.
Misses.
Peanutty.
All right. A couple more slashes at this big blue. Oh, that's a good. And second one.
First one misses. Second one hits.
All right, and then repeat that defensive flourish.
That will take down the
nice.
Oni.
Oh, nice.
So she falls down as you strike at her with the longsword on your. That was your what? Second attack, I guess.
Yeah, a reverse grip, little figure 8 action on her. Yeah, and then I'll make that other guy my hex target, and then that's it.
Sounds good. Yang, it is your turn.
This guy is an asshole to me. I don't like him very much. 4 attacks.
He's like the only go to the. Oh, wait a minute, sir. Hey, wait, hold on. Whoa!
4 attacks coming in. But he's saying, hold on, wait a minute, mister.
I'm under compulsion. I didn't know what I was doing.
Now that's bullshit. That yank in fact. That's a level. First one.
Yep. That'll hit.
I'm gonna need him to make Constitution saving throw. DC 14. Or be stunned.
He is stunned.
Yang's gonna wail on him. Second attack.
That's a hit. And with that, he goes down. You're out of combat. At some point here, the shimmering dome left by the Lich's present kind of shimmers and fades away. Good sign that he's not coming back.
You know, I thought the fire temple was bad. This place just sucks.
The poison was pretty nasty. But good job on destroying things here. You think that was it?
I'm not sure. Rennick has all the time in the world that he needs to do what he wants. But he did mention something about running out of time. Is that what he said?
I thought guys like him have all the time in the world.
Which why it somewhat concerns me why he thinks he's running out of it.
Perhaps it's just has to do with a time constraint he's put on something else is going to occur, and he needs to do. That is what is pressing him. Well, did he say what he was looking for?
He's looking for I don't really know how to describe it in the more magical terms of sorts, but it's a ball that can put a dragon's soul in it. He was looking for that back at the monastery before a whole deal was struck with Lix and Thorwald for their souls or something. If you don't give him the war pick. I'm sure you're familiar with it. You met him.
Yeah. We were there for the giving of the war pick. I was there for the whole thing, the deal, all of it.
I think I was shoved off a cliff, and then I was told to go help out an excavation in the Crown Hills. But whatever.
So he's looking for a weapon? Is he looking for that battle axe up there?
No, he's looking for an orb,
Oh.
but he's beginning to believe it's not even here.
So it's an orb that he can
Any of you know what?
capture a dragon's soul with.
That could be useful for that supposed turtle dragon.
There's a dragon turtle?
Yeah, I heard about it.
Huh.
I've seen it.
You've seen it? What's it
Yes.
like? Is it more turtle or is it more
Scary.
dragon?
It's the hag that's riding it that's a little more scary than the.
Now I'm feeling like you're making up a complete story to me.
Yeah.
You'll see. You'll find out.
I don't think I will. Anyways, we have this.
Forgive my ignorance, I'm new, but what happens when you capture a dragon's soul? Does that mean you control the dragon, or does that kill the dragon? What would he be trying to do there? Any idea?
I think there's a ritual. If you collect 7 of them, you can grant a wish. That's just for that in the storybooks.
If you were a lich, what would you wish for?
Or
To be alive again? I don't know.
Well, Chris is going to expand a little bit, but me being who I am, it's possible if you're looking at something that can capture a dragon's soul. A lich is a wizard or a cleric that has put its soul into a phylactery. It may be that he is attempting to. He has a dragon in mind for lichdom as well.
Oh, well, that's not good.
That is not good at all.
Well, it's a good thing no one's killed any dragons recently.
Killed a couple black ones. I think
What?
you were there, Peanutty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a purple one, if that's what that thing was. I don't know.
Purple one.
You, Dragon
Whatever that
Slayer?
thing was outside.
Barney?
Yeah, what's so hard to believe about that?
I don't mean you. I mean you, Peanutty. You?
Obviously.
He did an incredible amount of damage to it. I basically just
Yeah, we were only really
stood in
supposed to
front of
kill
it.
one, but we just couldn't stop.
Yeah.
You, the man who's been insulting me, calling me Chucks every second he gets a chance, are a Dragon Slayer.
I changed it to Nux once you wised me up to your tactics there.
That's never gonna go away. Well, there's no use in speculating what can or cannot be with the infinite knowledge a lich may have. What we do have is, well, this place.
Yeah. Wonder if they took all the treasure already.
I mean, the axe you have there seems pretty nice. I saw that in the corner.
And it definitely seems that like the axe was something that was maybe pulled from down here, and it just wasn't what the lich was looking for, and so it was, just kind of tossed aside up there.
There were other chambers and stuff upstairs as well. Wouldn't hurt.
Have a look around. Make sure it's cleared for the dwarven archaeologist. Do you imagine if that was your job? Just going and finding treasure?
Isn't it?
Wait,
I mean,
thought
I've
she
done
said
several
she
jobs
was-
I've done several jobs like that already.
But I thought she said she was a historian, not an archaeologist.
Is that not the same thing?
Yeah, what's the difference?
I don't know.
Donovan?
Hand a historian a shovel, and they got yourself an archaeologist.
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
And technically, I guess we're archaeologists too, because we go to these ruins.
Technically.
Try and uncover rare and magic items.
Well, what is this archaeologist team here before us? What do they want to search or dig or look at?
I mean, I guess down here's a good start.
Sure.
Yeah, it looks
We're
like there's
already
an
here.
altar up there.
He was making a way into the north.
You think we scared him away from a good lead? Maybe it's actually in there.
Oh, wouldn't that be funny?
So it looks like this altar here doubles as like a receptacle or some kind. It had a top they had pulled off and it is open faced. If you go up there and you take a look, there do appear to be some scrolls or some parchment that's rolled up. A lot of the stuff in there are going to be really old maps, things that kind of chart ways through the Lort Mills that, you know, probably useful to somebody. Very ancient, very old subterranean dungeon. But among them is the thing that Donovan had been asking about, if there was a map of Tyar Basel, and there is. So at some point here after the adventure, I'll piece together what the 4 temples look like together that make up the original layout of the city back when it was under the dwarves' control. So you will have that.
Very nice.
You'll also probably find, I think there's going to be some journals and some records that are kept here that you will find. I don't think I have anything verbatim written up or anything like that, but more or less what these journals are going to, they're going to tell you a little bit of the story of what happened down in Tyar Basel that caused the fall of the Besselmer dwarves, and why King Fireforge was the last of his name, or the last scion of his kingdom. But basically, they had delved deeper into the halls below the city, doing as dwarves do, looking for ways to expand their city. And what they came upon was a little slice of the Underdark underneath them. Some old drow worship halls, like a place that clearly that the drow had secreted away a long time ago. And they found the remnants of the faith of Tharizdun, the Elder Elemental Eye, which will explain why the cultists have been drawn here. It wasn't happenstance that they came upon this dwarven city and retrofitted it to become their temples. Even going way back further than the dwarves' ancient history is this history of the drow and cult worship of trying to undo the creation of the world. And so you're going to learn that probably that floating disc in the fire temple at a minimum will bring you down into those caverns that are detailed here. And basically, after finding that, many of the dwarves started to go insane from just contact with some of the artifacts and some of the remnant items and writings of Tharizdun that were left in that place. And in their madness, they were in the midst of a war with some trolls, an army of trolls, and King Fireforge even after most of his people had evacuated and left after his poor leadership, had remained behind to fight an insane, like, losing war. Like, the numbers game was totally upon them, and he perished down there in the halls. So that is their history. Most of the dwarves, like I said, had evacuated, and so they are still spread amongst the world, but it goes to kind of explain why their history is not well documented. Those that remained behind all perished, and so the work of this Gersel is to try to learn some of this, so you've got something very valuable about what happened. As far as where the king's tomb might be, you don't have anything definitive, but if you check the body of Grumnik there, the dwarf that you just took out, he has some kind of a personal journal of his, of things that he has found. Nothing that's like a first-hand source, but a lot of like different locations to check out with question marks next to them. You'll find an entry in his book here that just says, kind of detailing this place that you're at, this summer home, and just a lot of kind of reference to, we're digging in the wrong place, but how do I tell Remnick that? You disintegrate me where I stand. He's so stubborn. I hate working for this guy. And like, you get the sense that he was maybe in charge of these dwarves that you killed, that they're like kind of like a group of looters, miners that hire themselves out, and they got hired on by Kaltesh. Similarly, there's a folded scrap of paper that you would find on the Oni that is addressed Obratu. I'm going to say your characters can figure out that Obratu is the name of the Oni. So it's addressed to him, or her. I keep saying him, her. Obratu, there's too much sunlight up here. I'll try the route from the Underdark. Maybe we'll meet in the palace. And it is signed by a name Rulek. And Bralnera maybe will be able to tell you that Rulek is a dwarven name.
And they were beating on the wall. Do we know why?
Oh, they were looking for someone that wasn't here.
Yeah, maybe Grumnik's journal would lead you to think Kaltesh is desperate. He's probably maybe beating on the wall, like thinking maybe there's like a secret, there's a secret door or something. There's got to be a secret here. Why isn't it here? Because he seemed kind of frenetic when he came into the chamber. So it might have just been a desperation move. You go and check out the wall. It's solid. There's nothing there. There's no secret chamber or something.
Is it common knowledge that such a thing as the Underdark exists? Like, would we know that?
I think at least somebody in this group would know that and be able to explain to the others that yes, there is such thing as the Underdark, and that's where the Drow are from. That's where Drugar are from. Like, and that there's like a whole. You don't know, you don't have intimate knowledge of it, but like enough to like kind of like basic facts about it.
And do we know the location of the whatever you want to call that portal between the two? I mean, the passage.
You all are aware of in the Fire Temple that there is this floating disc that presumably can take you down there. At this stage of the game, now that you have the map of Tyre Basil, you probably can figure out that there's going to be multiple ways to get down there. But the passage in the Fire Temple is the one that you have control over currently. You could argue you could maybe go back to the air temple and do some more digging around and find the one there, because the air cult is largely defunct at this point after Arisi died, but no one's discovered that yet.
All right. So we search the rest of the place, see if we can find some treasure. Our promised loot. I think she was full of shit myself, but at least she'll have these papers.
One thing you will discover as you go back up to the second floor, the passageway that leads off to the west from the courtyard appears to be some kind of a dormitory. And you're going to find all number of bodies in there. And I'm not going to leave you with like how to figure out like what happened, but there's basically two groups of people that were slaughtered and killed here. A number of dwarves. There were actually dwarves that were living here not so long ago, like before they were killed by the cultists. There was a sect of dwarves that lived here and maintained this place to the best of their ability. If you look around, like this place is presumably thousands of years old, and for the most part, pretty well preserved. And there was a group of fire forges that had kind of secreted away here and like were living here. They were all slaughtered by the cults, which is unfortunate. Like there's a lot of history that just died because of that wanton murder. There's also a lot of bodies of water cultists that were killed by Kaltesh and his group. The water cultists that had come up here and were digging around for stuff themselves. So, is there much here? A lot of it probably is already in the hands of the cults. One of the two, right? But the great axe there, it seems to be something that was overlooked, perhaps, by the water cult, and then discovered by Kaltesh and his crew, and then just kind of set aside because it wasn't the orb. And so you've got that great axe that you still have some secrets to learn about, perhaps. Yang, potentially of interest to you would be that little claw weapon that was on the hand of the dwarf. You can wield that on one of your hands, and your fist attacks with that weapon will deal an extra d4 damage. Or it could be wielded as its own kind of weapon, but I think, you know, if you're going to end up using it, that's what the bonus will be on that. Perhaps the only other thing of interest would be that to the east, off the courtyard, you'd find a small chapel. That would have above the altar a carving of the same smiling, beckoning dwarven woman that was depicted in the courtyard. Two small braziers that rest upon a white cloth draped over the altar, though neither is currently lit. And there's an empty stone bowl that sits on the altar's center.
Is it known if that's a dwarven deity that is being depicted there? I assume.
We'll say Bralnera could tell you that it is a chapel. That's the deity Sharindlar. Just kind of a goddess of dwarven hospitality.
Makes sense. They use this place as a place to entertain their friends, other noble dwarves.
So that is, I think, the entirety of what you find.
Wonder if Gazelle intends to take over this place. I don't think she would last very long up here by herself with a little guy.
I think she probably have to hire some people.
I should be glad to at least know it's even real.
Bo, didn't you have like a character that was like a historian or an archaeologist or like a curator of some kind? I don't know.
Farnsworth, yeah.
Yeah, maybe maybe he'd be interested in helping her out.
Oh heck yeah, yeah.
So the lot of you, essentially at this point, thinking about heading back and reporting to Gazelle what you found. Okay.
Yes.
So you head back, and she will be kind of astonished at your stories of like it wasn't even the water cult that you went and dealt with, but like this lich and everything like that, and she'll just kind of be just in awe that you went there and dealt with all of this just now in the midst of your very dire quest that you are undertaking. She will thank you from the bottom of her heart and know that if you're ever in the presence of dwarves who still remember the name Fireforge, she says, she will gladly provide you shelter and protection wherever you go in dwarven lands, such as it is. She knows that her family name is not a strong one any longer, but she hopes that everything that you have found might be able to change that a bit for her. That this little bit of dwarven history that has been long forgotten might be able to see the light of day now again, because of what you have found. And
would she know any history on what it was that the lich was looking for? Would she have heard of any item that may have been squirreled away or taken in a battle at some point or something?
So, she would probably tell you that a more direct relative of hers was Thoramir Fireforge, who will say some. I'm sure I should probably just like keep it abstract and say a few hundred years versus a few thousand years, but I don't know. Let's say 600 years prior. Thoramir Fireforge was the dragon slayer that had lived in what is currently the Sacred Stone Monastery. So he's like a great uncle to her. And it is said that he had some items that dealt with dragons. And so she'll say that she had heard perhaps he possessed one in life, which makes sense. It makes sense that the lich went there first, searching for it, because it was the last known residence of that folk hero. But I don't know if anybody remembers this, but the lich thought that it's another missing tomb kind of situation. Thoramir is not interned at Sacred Stone Monastery. His elven best friend is. And so the lich was very disappointed to discover that the tomb that is located there was not Thoramir's. So she'll tell you that much, I guess, that her great uncle was said to maybe have possessed it, but she doesn't know where it currently is or anything like that. So she leads some credibility to the fact that this thing might exist and might be in the area.
Guess we would warn her that some powerful people might be seeking it for whatever that's worth. And if she stumbles across it, let us know. No.
So she will say, of course, if she finds any news or anything like that, she would be happy to share it with you, but at the present time, she knows nothing about it.
Yeah, and I would assume that it'd be like a family secret that they may not want to share with everybody in the world. That would just bring liches and powerful wizards trying to take their stuff.
Which is probably why his tomb is not, not a well-known place. Especially if he's interned with all these, super powerful artifacts with dealing and controlling dragons. So, other questions you have for her, or dialogue you want to have as you return back to Rastor?
I would request being able to either copy or something with these maps. I mean, that would be, I think, very beneficial from like a military standpoint of having maps of the dungeons that we will be going into or whatever. So
yeah, you could put some people to work making some reproductions of that. Like I said, I'll post something in the Discord here maybe in the coming week where I will actually like put together like the 4 temples and fit them together so you can kind of see what the city looked like as a whole, and you'll see kind of the layout of everything. Then you can compare like how much of this did we actually explore and look at during the course of the campaign. So
and if you would require any coin for commissioning that or whatever, I would just let me know and I'll deduct it from Donovan's stash. So
yeah, that sounds good. I can kind of take a look at that. Other things you are all thinking about or wondering about as we move into the final scene. There has to be a final scene as we enter into the last act of the campaign. So, you all go to sleep after your long journey. After all of the events that have occurred, another collective dream is felt by the entire adventuring party that is staying at Rastor. Your restless sleep is disturbed by a vision of the Dragonborn, once called Ziloff, now known by the elemental cultists as the Doom Dreamer. In this dream, you see a stone ziggurat and another bound and gagged figure, a gnome this time, laying atop the altar. There are flames that surround the base of this enormous cavern where the ziggurat is situated. Inky black pools alit with flame, like tar pits that have been set ablaze. And the walls of this cavern and the ceilings of this cavern just drip this thick black ooze, almost as if this oily black liquid that just seems to be draining out of the walls. And you see Ziloff, he's weeping at the top of the ziggurat, a dagger in his hand, and almost with some degree of reluctance, but known compliance, he drives it into the gnome's chest and runs it down the length of its ribcage. Just blood just pours off of the altar and drips down the stairs. And the Dragonborn then suddenly seems to peer into your soul. And you hear a voice, though his lips do not move. His expression does not change. But you hear his words say, "You must come and find me. End my suffering, and I will share everything I can with you. He cannot know. There is no more time to waste." And with that, the dream kind of fades away with an instant. You all bolt up in your beds in a cold sweat, having seen that kind of horrific ritual sacrifice happen. And when morning comes, the entire inn is dripping wet because there's been a torrential downpour a storm has been happening all night. And this storm will never end. It will never cease. And it's only welcome insofar as it's keeping the unbearable temperature at bay, which has now risen over 100 degrees. And in a few days' time from now, the area is going to start to feel the tremors of a persistent quakes that will begin to rend the earth, lining up with Keltesh's entrance below the temples. So, we are at the brink of apocalypse. The apocalypse that could rend the lands of Flaneus asunder if you are not successful in these next few sessions. So no pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure.
So that is going to bring us to a close here tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out and playing a game with us. Thank you out in the audience for hanging out and watching us play a game. This is an open campaign. We do games right here. This is our tier 2 campaign, but we also have a lot of like tier 1 stuff that feeds into this. So if you're interested in playing in a game with us in our community campaign, just join our Discord and let us know that you are wanting to join us for a game. We will hook you up with the info on how to create a character and get signed up for a game. We do these multiple times throughout the month, usually once a week at a minimum, sometimes multiple times over the course of a week. So jump in there, come hang out with us there. This weekend, we have another Dolmenwood game in the morning, so if you want to wake up early in the morning and listen to some old school Essentials gameplay, we're back with that in the morning starting at 10 a.m., so join us for that. And I think that's all the announcements I have for the weekend. So, yeah, thanks everyone. Anyone have any call-outs or things that they want to announce?
Have a happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Indeed. I was going to say tomorrow morning a little OSE and coffee. So.
And a little Bailey's.
And a little Bailey's.
Yes, brother.
Yes, brother.
And those
All right.
potheads will bring the pies, right? To go with
That's
the
right.
coffee.
There is a... I looked at the wandering encounter tables. It's entirely possible we see a pothead tomorrow. Just saying.
Ooh.
Very nice.
All right. Well, let us see. We should probably pass a raid on to someone else to spread the love here a bit tonight. Yeah, I think we'll throw a raid over to Darling Creepshow and see what they're up to. All right. Thanks, everyone. Come hang out with us tomorrow. We'll see you soon.
Indeed. Thanks for the rerolls, chat.